Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about upcoming pricing incentives for the Tesla Model Y and other models as well. Now that we round out the end of October, it's pretty much the last day to lock in these lease incentives, these low monthly payments. Let's talk about, or I guess it's not the last day, it's the last day of October, but it's not the last day for those incentives because those go all the way till November 4th. But let's talk about what I predict is going to be the case for incentives, pricing, and everything after November 4th, maybe even November 5th, as we go through the end of November into December as well. So we're going to get into that plus a variety of topics. But before we do that, let's roll that intro really quick. All right, so thanks for watching another stream. Thanks for watching another video. My name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla deal hacking, as I like to call it. And if you like deals, incentives, and discounts, hit that like button so you can support the channel and everything. Today's live stream is partnered and sponsored by Joa, where you can get Tesla accessories for your Tesla vehicle because your Tesla is not going to come with a lot of different things like phone mounts, center consoles. So if you're looking to get free shipping, great satisfaction, full refund if you don't like it, definitely check it out. Link down below in the description, but more on that later. And so as we end the end of October, as we go into November, you got to remember there is 3 months for the end of quarter four. Quarter four ends December 31st. And so usually there's plenty of incentives throughout this time frame. And so I imagine Tesla, like I'm 99.99% sure Tesla is going to release some sort of incentives in the next week or so. And that date might be as soon as November 4th because the current incentives at the moment do end on that time frame, because if you take a look at it, you can see that some of these prices will increase on November 4th. And so I personally think, not just payments are going to increase, but I think prices are going to increase as well. If we take a look at what could be added here, because there's a lot of different things that they could add as value adds to some of the vehicles, but they do need to pay for some of that as well. Like you can think, like take a look at like the Lux package, for instance. Like the Lux package is on Cybertruck, it's on Model S, and it's on Model X, but also those vehicles got price increases, $10,000 to $15,000 more with price increases before it got those Lux packages. But this was all inspired by this post on Reddit. We can see here Juniper pricing, quote, "We want to buy the Juniper, not the lower model, and curious if pricing will go down now that the federal tax credit has ended." So let's take a look at some of these different answers here. The first one is wait till the end of the quarter and you will be rewarded. And that's true with like the past 2 to 3 years. There's always been a fantastic incentive, but now this year it is a much different time with the $7,500 federal tax credit gone. So it's kind of a toss up here. Quote, "Historically, the end of the year has really good deals. Will it be as good or better than getting the $7,500 from the feds? Probably not, because this is a brand new territory and Tesla doesn't have $7,500 of government money to be able to, work with. And so I feel like I don't think it is going to have price drops. I think we're going to see price increases." Quote, "I don't think a bunch of randos on Reddit are in especially a good position to answer that. It's all speculation. Given the catastrophic earnings call they just had, you could argue they could afford to reduce their margin or they can't afford to not sell cars. Flip a coin at this point." Another one here. "Sales is predicted to go down drastically for all electric vehicles in the fourth quarter. They will all have to do something." And I agree with that, because if you think about all these other different brands have to get pretty aggressive as well. We've already seen like Hyundai, Kia, they've dropped the prices of their electric vehicles by $8,000. Now, is Tesla actually going to do that? I mean, I'm not sure that, because if they were to do that, that would be crazy headlines for sure. Quote, here's another one. "Some people said it would go down or discount for the end of the year. Texas is giving $2,500 for a new purchase and lease. So there's also a student that also got $500 as well." And so, yes, there are some state incentives that could be out there. And so certainly, make sure you're well informed. And maybe tomorrow we'll talk about all the different things that you can do beforehand to make sure you got all the different incentives lined up and everything. But here's my prediction, because yes, the $7,500 federal tax credit is gone. And before we get into my prediction, if you're looking to place your order and lock in these low monthly payments for Tesla vehicles, because right now the Model 3 and the Model Y have promotional offers, $449 for the Model Y and $329 for the Model 3. If you're looking to be locking those in, don't forget to use a Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description, so you can get up to $1,000 off of your Tesla vehicle. You do have to place your order now between now and November 4th to be able to lock in that low monthly payment for your Tesla vehicle. And of course, Cybertruck as well, $679 or roundabouts that pricing with the Tesla referral code down below in the description. And so here's what I think. I think, and prediction wise, I think prices will increase. I think they need to make room for, Lux package or anything, all these different things that they want to offer. I hope I'm wrong, because a price increase won't necessarily sell more vehicles. It won't sit well, I feel like. But if there's a price increase and they attach it with like low APR financing, like what if it goes up $5,000, but then they get like 1.99 or even 0% financing to kind of offset that? That could be worth it, or that might have shock and awe, in which people would love to get some sort of incentive like that. Or what if there's a price increase and it's free supercharging locked into it, just like how the Lux package. Like what if they take pieces of the Lux package and spread it to like the Model 3 and the Model Y? I definitely feel like there's going to be inventory discounts. I'm already starting to see a lot more of those with demo vehicles. I think there's going to be $1,000 to $2,000 in discounts with like option credits. They've done that in the past, and they consistently will do that in the future. Here's another thing that I was like thinking about the other day. What if they started to add more like credits, like accessory service or maintenance credits? We kind of saw this with the Cybertruck, and where they would add like a $2,500 credit for power share that you could actually use for other accessories. What if they did that for the Tesla vehicles? I'm not sure that would have a lot of impact, but still could be a nice value add to add on for people purchasing. And then free supercharging, free maintenance. They've got so many different things now that they can kind of use to create more demand with like all these special packages. So I certainly feel like they're going to do some combination of that. Maybe even not necessarily call it a Lux package, but take some of the Lux package bits and pieces and add it to other models that are out there. And so let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know down below what you think is the most impactful incentive to you. And I think I already know the answer to that, and that's going to be a low APR financing rate in like 0% to 1.99%. But the question is, are you willing to pay that, or are you willing to pay more for the Tesla vehicle to get a lower interest rate? Because that could be what could be the case in the near future. And I know a lot of you out there want the biggest discount off of a Tesla. Well, don't forget about your current vehicle as well and where you're selling it. I strongly recommend GiveMeTheVin.com. They want to get you maximum value for your current vehicle. In fact, a couple different viewers got $3,000 more by selling it to Give Me the VIN over Tesla. So you might as well check it out. Link down below in the description. And of course, using any of our links do support the channel as well. And so the TLDR is, I definitely think, promotional incentive, promotional full self-driving, maybe even free supercharging, or maybe even a combination of both. Free upgrades like paint, wheel, option credits, or whatever, free supercharging, and or maybe even Lux package being applied to other vehicles. But the biggest thing is, I think my prediction is that there's going to be a price increase. Now, I hope I'm wrong with that, but I guess you never know at the end of the day. And lastly, of course, a quick plug. I know a lot of people out there might have missed out on the $7,500 federal tax credit. There still is a way potentially for the Model Y. And so you can actually hit my link tree down below in the description, hit the contact form at the bottom so that I can point you in the right direction. And also, if you're pending delivery, you want to get full self-driving for half off, you can also message me down below in the description as well. In other news, we've got some Model Y standards hitting inventory lots in California. I think this one is Thousand Oaks. I haven't messaged Brandon yet, but I imagine this is. And so this is going to be the closest one near us. Maybe we got to make a trip and go check out to see, is the Model Y standard even worth it at the end of the day? And my guess is it's probably not, but at least it could be cool to try and drive one just to see what is out there, especially at the low price, because I also believe that Tesla will start to heavily incentivize these in the near future. But let us know what your thoughts on it. Let us know what you're thinking. Now that you've bought your Tesla, or you're about to buy your Tesla, did you know that it comes with 0 accessories? Seriously, not even a phone mount. But don't worry, we've got you covered. In my opinion, there's a few must-haves that every Tesla owner should get, like a phone mount so your phone doesn't fly off during acceleration, a center console organizer because without it, you're gonna lose a bunch of stuff, and my newest favorite, an invisible underscreen station mount from Jowa, a great place to store sunglasses. And all of these accessories plus more you you can get from our partner Jowa. And you know these accessories are good because I actually use all of their stuff. And if you use our promo code down below in the description, you can save some money and support the channel as well. But Jowa doesn't stop at just the basics. They've got a wireless game controller that fits perfectly in the glove box, a portable air compressor for peace of mind on those long road trips, and even an electric scooter, because why walk from the superchargers or level 2 chargers? So not only will you save some money by using our promo code down below in the description, you can also get free shipping on orders over $120. So definitely check it out, link down below in the description. Thank you to Jowa for partnering with us on this channel, and let's get on to the next topic. Thanks to everyone. All right, thanks for coming in. MD, great to see you, and CT, thank you all for dropping by. Thanks for hitting the like button, everyone. It does support the channel, and it doesn't cost you anything, and definitely supports the live streams and everything. And taking a look at our poll here, we asked in the chat, do you think Tesla will raise prices? And look at that, 64% said yes on the votes here. So very interesting. I think that is going to be the case, but I guess we'll wait and see. Of course, this is pure speculation at this point. Art, do you see Model Y and Model 3 in December with Lux Package add-on? Yeah, I think they're going to create some sort of version of that. Maybe it's not going to be Lux Package itself, and I think it's going to be applied to the Model 3 and the Model Y. MD, in your honest, humble opinion, which looks better, Model 3 Performance or Model Y Juniper? Ooh, I think Model 3 Performance looks better because it's got like the performance wheels, the spoilers, and of course is lower. Model Y Juniper is nice, but of course it's more of just your regular comfortable vehicle, whereas Model 3 Performance is a track warrior when you need to. And of course, if you're in California, you want to go to a track day, definitely check out Tesla Corsa if you want to do a track day with Unplugged Performance. CT, are there any pitfalls with Cybertruck demo vehicles? Any guidance would be appreciated. Thanks. Awesome work. And so it's funny you asked that because the other day, one of our friends was messaging me about because they just picked up a new Foundation series. And you guys saw our Foundation series Cybertruck that we picked up like 3 months ago at this point with the delivery video. If you didn't, check it out on the channel. And I thought that was a bad delivery. My friend's was even worse with like the damage and everything with the interior. And so demo vehicles are great as long as I probably would not buy a demo vehicle that has over 15 to 2,000 miles. And if I am, it better have a fat discount, like $2 per 1 mile. And I'm definitely going to be inspecting it because, I mean, there could be things that they still will fix with warranty, but sometimes they won't if it's a demo vehicle because they'll claim it's wear and tear. And that's why you're getting a discount for it. Jimmy, cash buyers, best option to lock in before the 4th? Not necessarily, because the cash buyers, yes, I guess there is that 6,500 is through the lease. The cash buyer is not getting the lease. I think you're thinking like if you're going to be doing the lease buyout, then yes, you should probably lock in and place your order. And of course, don't forget to use a Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description, so you can get up to $1,000 off of your Tesla vehicle. Yoko, thanks for coming in. Best channel, thank you. Is the aftermarket screen swivel worth it? Does it void your warranty? So Yoko, basically how warranty works is that the part that you install, if the OEM part breaks that's near it, they could blame it on that. And so like, let's say you install that swivel mount and the screen goes out, they could try and say that, you know, you tampered with the OEM functions there. And so maybe that screen went out and that's why. But if like your wheel suspension goes wrong for whatever reason, they can't say because you installed the swivel mount. It has to be like related for them to actually be able to have causation or whatever. And is the screen swivel worth it? I think no. I mean, the one vehicle that I almost thought it was going to be worth it was the Cybertruck because of how far the screen is. But the Model Y, it's so close, like you don't really need it completely turned to you unless like you really, really want it angled to you for whatever reason or anything like that. In this next topic, beware of Tesla lease and charges. We've got this video here. We can do a little bit of a react to it in which Cindy got an over $3,000 bill for turning in their Tesla lease. Let's take a watch here.
Experience, or if you got away with some charges, let me know.
This is how much Tesla charged me to return my Tesla Model 3 so I could get my Y.
Okay, a little background information to add some context. Tesla did offer to cancel my lease 2 months early so that I could get the Model Y in time to still get the federal tax credit. So they waived my last 2 payments. They gave me $500 off the new car. They canceled the disposition fee on my old car. Also gave me a $500 credit to use towards all of my dings, dents, damages invoice. Here's what they charged me after doing their final inspection on my Tesla Model 3 that I just returned. I had pretty curved rims on my back 2 wheels, my left and right wheels. So those were $85 each. And when you're doing your final inspection photos, they have you put a penny in the tread of each tire and take a photo. And my back 2 tires were also found to have pretty low tread, so they need to be replaced. So they charged me $391 for each of those rear wheels. The most expensive thing that they charged me for was when I park in my garage, the treadmill is in front of where I park my car, and I did bump it and it like slightly dented my bumper. I'm gonna put a video here because you can barely see the dent, but somehow they found it on my inspection photos. So they're charging me for a whole new front bumper, which I probably could have had this fixed if I had more notice, but they're charging me $971 for that front bumper. Also did get tint on my windows because I live in Las Vegas and you have to have tint here. So for aftermarket tint, they wanted to charge me $564. However, I was getting tint on my new car. So I just asked the shop if we could kind of do like a little bundle deal, take the tint off my old car and put the new tint on my new car. So I was able to get that done a lot cheaper. So what I did is I submitted another photo to Tesla after the tint was off and said, hey, tint is off, take off this charge. So on my final invoice, they did take off that charge. So if you're keeping track so far, we're up to a little over $1,900, but that's not where it ends. I did sign my lease with 12,000 miles a year. You could pick from 10,000, 12,000, or 15,000. So over the 3 years I had my car, that would be 36,000 miles. I drove almost 45,000 miles, and that's with ending my lease 2 months early. I was about 9,000 miles over what I agreed to on my lease at 25 cents a mile. So that was somewhere around $2,250. Grand total to return my Tesla Model 3 lease was $3,758.98. Don't forget the 98 cents. Honestly, I was prepared for something around this amount because I know I did go over a lot of my miles, but I do real estate, so it's kind of something that I factor in anyways. The scratches on the tires I knew about, the tread I thought I could get away with, and the bumper I didn't think that they would see. So, but yeah, that's what they charged me.
So it's a good video because that does give us some clarity. If you didn't know, when you lease a Tesla, you still have to pay for the wear and tear at the end of the Tesla lease. Like some of these different things, maybe it could have been, absorbed in the costs. And I feel like they do give you some time. Like they don't necessarily bill you at the end. You can request like an inspection early on, send pictures and everything, and then they tell you what the bill is. And then you can try like maybe even 30 days, 60 days to try and get some of the things waived off, like tires at 85 or curb wheels at $85 each. That actually sounds pretty okay. Tint at $564. Yeah, that makes sense. You might as well just work with a shop to try and work with a deal to tint your next vehicle. And a lot of shops will do that. And in fact, the shop that we actually recommend, 24K Shine in the OC area, actually has a deal that if you get tint with him, he will take it off for free when you look to get it done for like a lease turn-in. So you might as well check it out down below, or check them out, link down below, and ask for the dentist deal as well for 24K Shine in the Southern California area. I would imagine OC Tint Solutions might have a similar deal. You can ask for that as well because it's pretty low cost for them to do that, and that would set you up for the end of the lease with the do it. Now, the bumper being damaged at $900, I feel like you could go to some other shops and try and get like some ding repairs for that, depending on the location. So that one would be a tough. And then mileage at the end of that, Tesla does bill you at the end no matter what. And so you can already look at like how much that is. And so that's one big thing. Like if you're looking to be leasing a vehicle from Tesla, you might have to have a good action plan at the end, whether you're going to buy out that Tesla or you're going to be able to just fork over that couple $1,000s. Now, it was cool to hear that Tesla is still doing end of lease waiving payments. You did see that she mentioned that 2 months are being waived at the end, plus the disposition fee, plus some other different fees that are waived as well, which is really nice to see that Tesla is working with a $500 wear and tear. So it's not that bad at the end of it, and she's probably getting a low lease payment on the new Tesla as well. But I just did want to highlight this. Thank you, Cindy, for making this video and posting it. And that it is it's not necessarily just the payment you have to be worried about when you're leasing a vehicle. You do have to be worried about lease end charges when you are turning in the vehicle as well. And the one thing for sure is if you go out to be buying a Tesla, don't forget it doesn't come with this, and that's going to be a set of all-weather floor mats. Our favorite set is a set by 3W all-weather floor mats, especially when you use promo code Dennis35, you get 35% off, which is their highest offer yet. So if you're looking for a floor mat set that has lifetime warranty, great fitment, definitely check it out. Link down below in the description. And we'll also be at SEMA Vegas at the 3W all-weather floor mat booth. So if you're around, definitely stop by and say hi and check out our red Model Y there as well. But thank you to 3W for supporting the channel and everything. Jimmy, I will be buying out the lease with cash and also getting a discounted full self-driving from a family member. Lux package just doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, 100%. And if you're doing that, then yes, I would lock in the lease payments so that you could get that $6,500 lease payment with that, lease credit with that. Or if maybe you can actually send me a DM on my link tree down below in the description, my contact for us form, because there still is a way to get the $7,500 on the Model Y, but so I can point you in the right direction with that. What do you recommend when it's tires for new rubbers? Tires. I mean, if I'm doing a lease turn in, honestly, I'm just going to be going to any cheap place to try and get like a used set throw on, which is that it's above the cool thing is Tesla actually gives you the guidance, which is by using the penny and like showing like Abraham Lincoln's head or whichever. They actually give you how much you actually need to be. So you could take that penny to the tire shop and be like, hey, this one isn't good enough. Can you do this one? And then swap all the tires before you turn in the lease. And there's actually like businesses, I feel like, at least in Southern California, that will help you work with, reducing your lease end bill for your Tesla turn in. Craig, do you think they'll offer Lux package or similar? They will offer it to people who bought it recently. I don't think they'll offer it to people who bought recently. I mean, they kind of did that with the Model S, but I don't know if they're going to actually do that in a widespread. Maybe not. Maybe they will. It will be a nice extra revenue for them. But yes, I think Lux package will get applied to other vehicles. Nag, thanks for coming in. Lavendi, all these manufacturers are doing 0% for 72 months, and Tesla over here is with their head in the sand. Yeah, it's a good point. And so maybe we will start to see some crazy incentives without any sort of price increases, because I don't see any of the other manufacturers raising prices. I just see them lowering prices. In this next topic, here's a hot tip for full self-driving version 14. If you've got a driveway and you don't like pulling into your driveway, here's a tip with video proof on how you can actually make it back into your driveway with version 14 full self-driving. Anato posted this, quote, here's a tip for full self-driving fans who love the new driveway parking feature but hate front entry, like pulling it in forwards. When approaching your driveway, select street parking, switch to driveway just before it parks. It will reverse in. Thank me later. I've tried it multiple times and it works. And you can see here is the actual video. We can see him pulling up to his house. He's actually moved it on street. He doesn't touch the steering wheel or anything. And then he actually switches it, or I think he switches it. Let's see if we can see him actually. So he punches the screen and switches it, and it's still the same location and everything. And you can see the Tesla vehicle pull to the street, and then you can see the vehicle back into his driveway, which I actually prefer backing into spaces no matter what, because it's a lot easier to pull out when you're forward pulling out versus like backing up. It's actually safer too, so you can see visible and everything with traffic, that could be coming in down that street and everything. But really cool tip, and I'm going to be trying this on our next full self-driving drive so we can see if it actually works and everything. But let us know what your thoughts on it. Let us know what you're thinking. Bailey, really wanting to lift my 2026 Model Y. Do you still like your lift? How's it holding up? Yeah, I love it actually. I like how it's added visibility. I can run over everything. No issues so far at all. And I think you're not in California, right? Unplugged Performance does have partner shops in other states, so you can actually hit the link down below in the description, the Unplugged Performance link. You actually get a promo or with using our link, and then via the rewards program, and then they can connect you with other shops that could do the installation for you. Mark, man, Lux package and the Model Y Performance with free supercharging will be great together with vehicle to home. Already have 2 power walls. Yeah, the thing with that, Mark, is that we've got a power wall as well, and I don't think Tesla has figured out the vehicle, because we've got the Cybertruck. They haven't figured out like with power wall, can you do the home to vehicle to home? And so maybe in the future they will be able to figure that out, but right now, not at the moment. In this next topic, there is a recall, an official recall for the Tesla off-road light bar. You might have been seeing, if you're a Cybertruck owner, that the off-road light bar will completely strip off because it's just necessarily 3M glued, or maybe not even 3M, but just glued on with like whatever primer or whatever. And so now there is a recall from the NHTSA, National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, that they're looking to recall the light bar that was only supposed to be installed on some Cyber Beast, but looks like they will have to add an extra bracket in the future to be able to make sure it stays on. And so it looks like units affected is 6,197 people that actually got the light bar, and it's a cool light bar, I'll give it that, in terms of like the sleek design, but it also is a very small light bar. And that's why we actually, because I've actually had the ability to buy the OEM one, but actually that's why I went with the Unplugged Performance one, because it has these heavy duty brackets that are still pretty slick looking from the side profile and attaches into the OEM mounts. And they're also doing a Black Friday sale right now that's $676 if you're looking to purchase it. So definitely check it out, link down below in the description, and I'll post a link right now because they actually kicked off their Black Friday sale, and you can actually save on a bunch of different things out there for, you know, your Model 3, Model Y, and also Cybertruck as well. So definitely check out our Unplugged Performance link down below in the description. But thanks for jumping in, everybody. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for hitting the like button, the comments, everything, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.